So Donald Trump is still ranting and raving like a lunatic about that $400 million bribe that he wants from Qatar in the form of a gold-plated 747 jet. So here's what he was posting yesterday evening. He writes, "The Boeing 747 is being given to the United States Air Force Department of Defense. Not me! Exclamation point. It is a gift from a nation, Qatar, that we have successfully defended for many years. It will be used by our government as a temporary Air Force One until such time as our new Boeings, which are very late on delivery, arrive. Why should our military and therefore our taxpayers be forced to pay hundreds of millions of dollars when they can get it for free from a country that wants to reward us for a job well done? This big savings will be spent instead to make America great again! Exclamation point. Only a fool would not accept this gift on behalf of our country. Thank you for your attention to this matter." Really, Donald? I mean, this is at the same time that the GOP tax bill will be raising the debt ceiling by $4 trillion. This says you're raising our defense budget to $1 trillion, the most ever. This, as Doge has not given the United States any savings, but has caused a massive amount of waste and abuse. Doge itself. Oh, and by the way, you're cutting $290 billion from SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which helps over 42 million people nationwide purchase fresh produce and other groceries. And you also want to cut Medicaid by $800 billion. This is why I refer to Donald Trump as the Ponzi scheme rug pull presidency right here. He looks at the suffering of the people of the United States, and he sees that vulnerability the way he's always seen it, as a predator. He's a felon. He's a fraud. He is a sexual abuser. He is a disgusting and vile piece of trash who has destroyed and not built his entire life, destroying the lives of workers, destroying the lives of contractors. Anybody who's come into contact with him, he's destroyed their lives. He is the snake that people let in, and it's too late by the time he ruins your life. But then he moves on to the next Ponzi scheme, right? He goes, I'm going to cut healthcare costs 50 to 90% via an executive order. No, you're not. You're getting rid of Medicaid before our eyes. You're getting rid of SNAP. You're getting rid of other critical programs. You ain't going to cut healthcare via an executive order just because you say so. But that's part of his scam. And now we're also seeing that the way he framed no tax on tips and no tax on Social Security and no tax on overtime. I'm going to do a whole other video about this morning. It is a scam, and the carve-outs essentially swallow the underlying promises broken all around. But guys, Donald Trump had a great day in Saudi Arabia. 3 exclamation points. That's how great of a day it was, because you see, the Saudi Sovereign Wealth Fund gives hundreds of millions and billions of dollars to the Trump family. Trump resorts in Oman, Trump resorts there. So of course Donald Trump is going to the Middle East for people who pay him money. Why do you think Donald Trump doesn't like Canada, doesn't like Europe, doesn't like places that are rooted in democracy and aren't trying to overtly or even implicitly bribe him, who are actually running modern democracies? Because they ain't paying him off, like the Abu Dhabi crypto fund, or even Syria's getting in the action right now. Syria's leader said, oh shit, all we got to do, excuse my language, all we got to do is say we want to build a Trump Tower in Damascus. He'll remove the sanctions against us. So Syria said, we want to do Trump Tower. Within 24 hours, Donald Trump announces, all right, the sanctions against Syria are off. Seriously? Seriously. Now, it's so odd as well to see Trump and all these MAGA influencers saying, Saudi Arabia loves us. Yeah, Saudis. It's very strange for me as an American to be like, our nation has attacked Canada and our European allies, and we suck up to Saudi Arabia and Qatar, and we're begging for the seconds of Qatar's airplanes for dear leader Donald Trump. Like, are you kidding me? Caroline Levitt, Donald Trump's chief propagandist, goes, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman after Trump's fantastic speech in Riyadh. I mean, this is like sheer pink dress lady crap from North Korea. He clapped for Donald. He clapped for Donald. Mohammed bin Salman clapped for Donald. Americans are suffering right now. Seriously. Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, which is a form of psychological torture. Americans can't afford a home right now. Americans need healthcare, good healthcare, and now they're going to get kicked off the healthcare that they have, which could be better by the MAGA Republicans. Americans need a good education. Student loans right now have the highest delinquency rate essentially ever right now, as the only thing the Department of Education's doing is going after student loan delinquency and garnishing wages right now, while gutting lunch programs to kids, gutting mental health services, even though MAGA Republicans say it's never the guns, right? What do they say? They say it's always mental health. Well, you just cut mental health services. You cut SNAP. You're cutting Medicaid. That's what's in your actual budget right now. Foreign countries are looking at America like a banana republic. That's what they're seeing it. As UBS Group has announced, their richest clients are increasingly shifting away from the United States dollar assets and turning instead to gold, crypto, and investments in China, according to the Swiss bank's co-head of wealth management in Asia, because they don't see the United States brand has been irreparably damaged. I mean, just look at what Donald Trump did with China. And somehow our awful corporate news in America tries to act like Trump did a deal. Trump didn't do a deal. Trump engaged in a trade war against the world, recklessly and maliciously created a trade embargo with China, destroying businesses here in the United States, 145% tariffs against China. Then as ships stopped coming into our ports in the United States and we were about to have no products on our shelves and scarcity was about to reach a COVID level, Donald Trump sent Jameson Greer, our trade representative, and Scott Bessent, our Treasury Secretary, to Switzerland to beg China to make it appear the United States came out with something. The United States got not a single concession. Put in the comments what you think the United States got from this at all, other than to look outmaneuvered and look stupid at this point. Because all the United States did was reduce its tariffs against China from 145% to 30%, which is still a 30% tax on the American consumer, because a tariff is a levy on the importer who passes that through to the consumer. And China smartly lowered its tariff rates to 10% so it could tax its own citizens less. Meanwhile, China has engaged in lots of negotiations with other countries around the world to now appear to be a more stable trading partner than the United States. This is being reflected in the 10-year Treasury rate, 4.5%. The 10-year yield is not supposed to be that high. When it is high, that reflects instability, and that's often a sign as well of other things going up, like mortgage rates going up. That is not good.
Life moves fast, and sometimes you just need a way to relax, recharge, or stay focused without overcomplicating things. That's where Via comes in. I've personally been using Via for a while now, and I genuinely love how customizable everything is. Whether I need to stay sharp during a long day or wind down at night, there's a Via product for that. The Dream Sleep Gummies are my go-to. They taste great, and I actually get a nice, relaxing sleep no matter how insane the day was. You know, these days can get pretty insane. I also love their Elevate Focus Gummies. For me, it's about being present, focused and balanced, and Via helps me get there naturally. If you haven't tried them yet, you are seriously missing out. Whether you need to unwind, refocus, or boost your mood, Via is here to enhance your everyday and night. Trusted by over 500,000 customers, Via blends high-quality hemp-derived ingredients for real effect-driven benefits. Whether you're after better sleep, recovery, focus, or just want to relax, there is a tailored product for you. They've got options ranging from 0 to high cannabinoid levels, and everything is lab-tested, organic, and made in the USA. Best of all, Via ships legally nationwide, no medical card needed, with a worry-free guarantee. If you're 21 or over, check out the link to Via in our description and use the code Meidas to receive 15% off, free shipping on orders over $100, and if you're new to Via, get a free gift of your choice. After you purchase, they ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Enhance your everyday with Via.
Now, I'll show you right here what Donald Trump said, though, when he was in Saudi Arabia. The first clip I want to show you, though, is Donald Trump clearly being confused and addled. He was sleeping in his chair. He didn't know where to, drooling on himself. You're like, Donald Trump, he like wakes up. He walks to the wrong direction. A helper has to bring him to where his seat is, then has to help him sit. This happened in plain view. Let me show you this clip first.
Signing on behalf of the United States, the Honorable Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America.
The next clip I want to show you is then Donald Trump describing Saudi Arabia as the hottest country in the world. He goes, "You're even hotter than the United States. You're so hot." Play this clip.
We are rocking. The United States is the hottest country, with the exception of your country, I have to say, right? I'm not going to take that on. No, Mohammed, I'm not going to take that on. Wouldn't that be a terrible thing if I made that full statement? But I will not do it. You're hotter. At least as long as I'm up here, you're hotter.
The hell are we talking about? And all the corporate news, I'm not even just talking about Fox, CNN, all the other corporate news networks. What have they been talking about right now? May 14th. What the hell have they been talking about? Former President Biden. They all are coming out with books. Oh, former President Biden needed a wheelchair. By the way, even if he needed a wheelchair, what are we? Why can't you have a wheelchair? Like they act like, oh my God, he didn't. We saw him walk, but that's like a big scoop that Jake Tapper and all these idiots are talking about. Or, he was cognitively whatever. No, he had a stable policy. You want to take a transcript of Biden and compare it to a transcript of Trump? You know how I would answer the stupid question that now corporate news is asking all of these people? When did you know about Biden? I would say, shut the F up. I would say, first off, Donald Trump is 1,000 times worse than anything we saw with Biden right in front of our eyes. Every single day, Donald Trump does 20 to 30 things worse than I ever saw Biden do at all during his presidency. And in any event, why is this your focus right now? Donald Trump is engaging in a hostile takeover of our federal government. He's trying to make sure we don't have elections ever again in our future. He's taking bribes in plain sight. He's rejecting and not following and defying clear Supreme Court orders. He's running things via executive order as a dictator. He's doing reckless trade wars against the world and then capitulating and making the United States look utterly pathetic. The rest of the world sees the United States for what it is. And you, on May 14, 2025, are focused on former President Biden? Are you freaking kidding me? That's how I would answer those stupid and pathetic questions. So by the way, you have that taking place, right? You have corporate news. That's their story. Donald Trump's getting bribes. And they're like, well, what about, did Biden recognize Clooney? Who? Biden, Clooney? What are you even talking about? Who gives a shit? Right now, Americans are suffering and our democracy is on the line. This is why people are leaving corporate news and watching the MeidasTouch network. And then on the other side, right? That's like CNN. That's what they're doing. So other than that, you now have people like Hannity. And here, Hannity's like, Look, after all of these great deals, now people just want to talk about the Qatar jet. How unfair. This is the new scam. We got January 6th, you've got COVID, and now you've got Qatari jets. That's the way they're going with this. Here, play this clip.
Despite a slew of recent accomplishments, groundbreaking diplomacy, the legacy state-run media mob still managed to find their new obsession, an offer from the government of Qatar for a Boeing 747 jumbo jet to serve as Air Force One.
So utterly ridiculous right there. Anyway, tell me what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers. Thank you for watching.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.MeidasTouch.com. All 100% USA union made.